eClan is a project with a signature.
When Serge de Biolay and I developed the idea of establishing an academic network in the field of EU criminal law, it was the logical consequence of the needs that we felt existed in the early years 2000.
So the idea to create an academic network focusing on EU criminal law came quite naturally. The combination of three elements. First, the stage of development of EU criminal law. We had the Amsterdam Treaty, the Tampere program. Secondly, Anne and I had both started working our very first job, though not at the same moment. Had been under the supervision and on the initiative of Daniel Flor to work on the creation for Anne and for me the development and the functioning of the European Judicial Network.
We decided as from 2003-2004 to organize regular brainstorming with academics, workshop, conference, and then publish the outcome of these conferences.
During the many conferences that she and Gilles de Kerchove organized, it was clear that there was maybe not a lack of academic expertise in EU criminal law, but a lack of way to identify who the right experts were.
I think there is a need for somebody to follow the work in the Council in terms of looking how it is implemented in the Member States, and of course on trying to imply the cooperation of the academics in the analysis of this work. And eClan does this in a very good way.
When Anne Weinberg approached me with the idea to set up this network, immediately I saw the advantage and the benefit of such a network, because if you look at the officials, the magistrates, they had already their networks and they were able to share information before getting actually into council negotiations. We saw that a lot was written by academics, by scientists, but there was not the same interaction.
We really needed, as EU officials, to be fed and challenged by the best academics in Europe. And I'm very grateful to the eClan network to have achieved this. And it's very useful for us. As I've said, new concept like mutual recognition, like the availability of information, like what is it that we want to build, an area of freedom, security and justice.
The more important thing that was given by eClan was what I would call the awareness. It's important that European criminal law becomes a matter as such from an academic point of view and from a political point of view. It's a new field for research, for teaching, but also for the policy.
So you combine EU criminal law, academic, network, and there we are.
The establishment of the network clearly benefited from the precious collaboration of the first contact points, the so-called founding fathers and mothers of the network. I'm thinking especially of Pedro Cairo, Sabine Gless, Katia Schugman, Henri Labeil, Giovanni Grasso, Frank Höpfel, and Adam Lazowski.
eClan provides a unique chance for academic exchange with scholars from all across the European Union. These exchanges foster a lot of discussions about legal traditions, but also about approaches in practice.
eClan spread quickly across Europe, and the number of national contact points increased from the original 12 founders to 32, covering the whole EU and some third states. The contact points are all academics specialized in European criminal law. Some of them are, together with the coordinators, members of the so-called Management Committee, which is in charge of the daily management of the network and of the organization of eClan's events. The contact points and the Management Committee are the beating heart of the network. Additionally, eClan currently counts more than 100 members who are privileged partners in its activities. Last but not least, the network is also assisted by a steering committee composed of high-level academics or people who hold high-profile positions in the European institutions, in the national administrations, or among national or European police and judicial authorities. Currently, John A.E. Vervaly, Charles Elson, Robert Roth, Gilles de Kerchove, Roland Jensen and Françoise Tulkens.
Because of the multiplication of eClan's activities, I share since 2013 the coordination of the network with my colleagues Katalin Ligeti from the University of Luxembourg and Valsamis Mitsilegas, Queen Mary University of London. This has clearly given the network a new impetus. We have always been very actively supported by the members of the so-called Brussels team. Veronica Santamaria, Emanuele Pitto and Özlem Özem in the very beginning, then Vanessa Ricci, Laura Surano, Isabel Andulsi, Emanuela Politi, Francesca Galli and Cleo Feoli, and presently Chloé Brière, Ines Armada, Céline Koch, Anthony Rizzo and Giulia Giacomelli. All of them have played an essential role in helping us launching and developing the network.
The network also benefited from the vital support of certain key EU civil servants and from the input of national experts.
Yes, well, I think it's the added value of ECLAN is exactly that it brings together practitioners, both from the institutions, but sometimes also from the bar or from the judiciary and the academics, and that it has this unique combination of both.
The establishment and the development of ECLAN would not have been possible without the financial support of the Ministry of Justice of Luxembourg, which has been kept throughout the years. The network also benefited from some Commission's funding programs, first the so-called Aegis program and then the Criminal Justice program.
The issue is always with funding. The first problem was how to get the money. I raised the idea with my minister at the time, Minister Le Cruden, that he was immediately enthusiastic and he engaged the Luxembourg government in financing this. And I'm pretty sure that this financing kicked off the network and made sure that it was able to grow and to get bigger.
The very first initiative of ECLAN took place precisely 10 years ago in October 2005 with the organization of an international conference on the evaluation of European criminal law. The proceedings of the conference gave rise to the first ECLAN publication, Comment évaluer le droit pénal européen. Over the last decade, ECLAN has organized more than 20 scientific events, including its annual conferences with the participation of academics and practitioners renowned for their expertise on European criminal law. The proceedings of some of those colloquia have been published by ECLAN in the series Études Européennes. And we are really proud to announce that as from 2015, ECLAN will play an active role in the organization and edition of the new series Hard Studies in European Criminal Law, which will certainly increase the dissemination of the ever-growing number of studies in this field.
Theoretical research is ECLAN's main activity, but the network also embraces applied research.
One way for ECLAN in engaging in this dialogue has been to work with consultancy firms and to participate in impact assessment studies, but we have been also active in other forms in policy making, like several members of us have been working for different experts group of the Commission, where we put forward research results of ECLAN.
The projects on drug trafficking and minimum sanctions with the European Commission were the starting point for a very fruitful exchange and cooperation between ECLAN and various European institutions, and are an important way for ECLAN to take part in the development of a European criminal law.
It's not always the case, but we have been asked to coordinate these applications and these research projects, which is a good experience because it teaches you how to make research with short deadlines and specific formats required by the person requiring the study to be done. And yeah, it's also a valuable experience, I would say.
The summer school is, since 2004, an ECLAN classic, gathering lecturers and students from all over Europe for a post-graduation course on the theoretical and practical dimensions of European criminal law.
And so it's been on many levels a useful place for contacts for me. But of course it's beyond that, because being able to speak with people who have a long-term interest in the field, like myself, is always useful in an international context.
In 2010, the positive experience with the summer school led to the organization of the PhD seminars, which are on the way of becoming a classic.
The ECLAN PhD seminars began 5 years ago. So far we have had seminars rotating among ECLAN partner institutions, And we have had PhD seminars organized in Brussels, Luxembourg, the Bayonne, here at Queen Mary in London last year, and this year in Copenhagen. The idea to organize these seminars has come from the need to bring together PhD students working in the field of European criminal law and to give the students the opportunity to discuss their work and their arguments with leading experts in the field.
And it was really interesting to see how they view my work after 3 years of my studies.
I have been very impressed by the high academic standard of the research project and the professional skills of the PhD students.
PhD students get the chance to publish their research afterwards at the New Journal of European Criminal Law.
We're active in the debate. We're trying to make our contribution. The debate is not going to go away. I imagine, on the contrary, it's going to increase. And so we'll be, the New Journal of European Criminal Law will follow it for as long as possible.
What about the next 10 years?
About the network's future, we think ECLAN should continue developing its basic objectives in terms of scientific research and teaching in the field of EU criminal law. We hope it will become an increasingly collective undertaking, with an increasing number of conferences, workshops, seminars being organized by contact points on a rotating basis. We hope it will extend to some other third states with which the EU develops privileged cooperation in criminal matters. We hope also that ECLAN will be an academic network of reference for the young generations and contribute forming a new generation of academics and researchers in the field. Finally, in the longer term, I sincerely hope that we will find a way to stabilize the network and to fund the network on a permanent and stable basis.
The future of ECLAN also lies in this, getting academics together reflect on society problems, but I could also imagine, now that I also have to deal with knowledge management, information management, that ECLAN could be some sort of hub of knowledge transfer, knowledge sharing in the field of European criminal law.
So we needed to be imaginative and create new concepts, and for that ECLAN is very helpful.
If I would have an advice for the 10 next years, it would be to do more of the same. And maybe it would be important to give more visibility to ECLAN. Maybe that would be the next step, to do more of the same and with more visibility.
What was important for us was to work with people whose attitude, expertise of course, but also whose attitude ensure that we would develop the network in an atmosphere of simplicity and cooperation, and I think that it worked.